Let's Get Down to Business is presented by Bravo, the marketing arm of Ash Brokerage Corporation, the practice enhancement company. All this week, it's video consumer marketing, and on today's show, how to prospect using Family Matters video series. And with me today is creator of Selling Technologies, Jerry Maynardi. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to Backroom Technician. Let's get down to business. Well, welcome to the show, Jerry.
Thanks, Steve.
Jerry, of course, we're kindred spirits here. I mean, video, right?
Yep.
How long have you and your brother been doing video for the financial community?
Started actually back in '97.
Man, you were really ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
And everybody, you look out at YouTube, you look at all the at Vimeo and all the places online, everybody's going to video. And we may even have to shorten our show up just to conform with the new guidelines and what's going on out there.
Right.
When I'm thinking of it, you know, you have a whole series called Family Matters, and it's really tied and customized to families, almost like the individual market, I would say. And so a lot of people are always trying to get to new people, and you know, we can send little pieces of information. We could send them a little clip of a newspaper. We could maybe even have a little piece from a vendor who writes about maybe qualified plans or whatever. But it seems like people will watch a couple-minute video. Talk about why you chose this whole platform, and that was back in the day. Wow, it's been 1997.
Yeah, although, I mean, we didn't do Family Matters back in '97, but, you know, the point of the whole exercise really is that family-owned businesses are a unique entity. And so sending a family business just information in printed form is kind of a non-starter. There's no point of differentiation in that. And family-owned businesses want to understand that the people that they're talking to really have an understanding of their issues. And so that's why it was kind of important for us to create Family Matters, which is actually an interactive movie about family business. So unlike our other programs, all of the characters in the Family Matter series are the same family. So basically you're following these family members through these different areas of concern that family-owned businesses typically deal with.
And you see the real-life family, the contention, the kind of sibling rivalry. I mean, it's almost, can I say, soap opera for financial services.
Right. I mean, you know, family-owned businesses, they never argue, and none of that happens. So, and I'm in a family-owned business with my brother, so also, you know, we have kind of a soft spot for helping advisors help family businesses.
So in a closely held family corporation, whether it's LLC, C Corp, S Corp, we're trying to get in and say we have an idea, we have a concept, we have some resolution issues that you could have, but it's hard to get past the gatekeeper. How does this get past the gatekeeper?
Well, first and foremost, you can't lead with product. It's a total non-starter. So the way it gets past the gatekeeper is by being issue focused. And as you know, Steve, people want to watch videos now.
Oh, yeah.
And it can't be a long diatribe. It has to be something that's short, that's to the point, that doesn't talk about product, but focuses on the emotional issues. Because family businesses typically fall down around lack of communication and family emotional conflict. So if you can illustrate that, especially in video form, to a family-owned business, that you understand how those issues operate, you're way ahead of the game.
It seems like it's a bit cathartic, almost like a psychological profile. You're walking them through things that they don't really want to talk about or confront or challenge. But once they do, our job is way easier.
Yeah, I mean, it really does open up the lines of communication. Because now the family has an understanding that you are simpatico with their issues. And that removes a lot of stuff off the table. However, an interesting point around all this is if you discover a dysfunctionally communicative family business, you got to solve the dysfunction first before you ever talk about any
You're really
issues.
wasting your time doing data collectors and everything else if you don't solve that upfront issue. Well, you know, most of us, though, I have to say, most of us are not really pastoral, you know, we're counseling, you know. It sounds like I have to have a little of that.
Well, this definitely helps. And then there are certain resources out on the web that folks that specifically deal with dysfunctional communication issues around family businesses.
So we had some real professionals look at these scripts.
Oh, they were vetted a lot of times.
Why are we going to watch? We're going to watch our first one called Take Us to Your Leader. Sounded very alien to me. Give me a little 30-second redux and we'll watch it.
Okay. multiple generations in a family business, especially siblings within a family business, there's oftentimes a lot of jockeying back and forth for position. That's kind of what we're illustrating here.
Well, let's watch. Take us to your leader.
What makes you think Dad would even consider an idea like that?
Because it's a good idea.
Having you relocate to Chicago and opening the new office is not a good idea. Your experience is limited at best.
Jen, can I remind you I do have an MBA, and I've experienced at another company before I came here. My background is a lot broader than yours.
Working for a pharmaceutical company for 4 years and having an MBA does not qualify you for a leadership position.
Well, who's more qualified here than me?
Off the bat, I am.
Oh, please, Jen.
What do you mean, oh please, Jen? I've worked here 4 years longer than you have.
So, Henry from shipping has been here for 20 years. That doesn't make him capable of running the company.
We're not talking about tenure alone, Michael. I have worked for this company for 16 years. I've worked more closely with Dad than anyone in this company. I know exactly how he thinks.
Jennifer, what this company needs is new ideas, not just a continuation of the old ones.
I say if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, so I suppose being older and having more
Oh, here
experience
we
has
go,
no...
the oldest son argument. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 1950s. Dad.
Let me make myself very clear. Both of you are quite fortunate to be employed by this company. So what makes either one of you think you're qualified to run it?
When we come back from the break, Jerry's going to introduce us to another Family Matters video clip called The Holiday Dinner. And if you want to test drive Selling Technology's marketing system called Amanda, just go out to amandaportal.com and just click on the Sign Me Up button. We'll be right back, right after the break. Back in the day, life insurance professionals were called field underwriters. Then, carriers trained their field force in the basics of life insurance underwriting. Today, the insurance industry doesn't educate the agent population as they once did. But now you can have the Informed Risk Guide at your fingertips so you can illustrate a reasonable rate class for your life insurance prospects. Just request your copy of the Informed Risk Guide at downtobusiness.ashbrokerage.com. It's free from Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Well, welcome back, everyone. I'm Steve Savant with Jerry Minardi. And remember, you can watch all our videos of Let's Get Down to Business, including my weekly consumer show, Steve Savant's Money, the name of the game, right out at ashbrokerage.com. Just click on the show logo, it'll take you right out to the homepage. And just a heads up, before moving forward with any of the ideas you hear in our show, always consult your tax advisor or legal counsel, as well as your broker-dealer compliance department. Well, let's get down to business. And by the way, speaking of a little compliance, a lot of BDs have already seen all this, and it has really went through the vetting system. I mean, the BDs that we play with have already seen this. I mean, I don't know of it, too many that you've showed it to that they've adopted. They're okay with it.
We've been around the business so long, Steve, that we know where all the landmines are, and we just avoid them up front. So, yeah.
Well, that's great. I want to talk about this thing. You know, we're talking about family matters, and there's nothing more family than the holidays. And when you get around holidays, everybody's guards are down. Nobody wants to talk business, but they actually wind up doing it. Right? I mean, we try to avoid it.
No, it's unavoidable.
It's unavoidable.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about businesses, speaking small family, you don't know who's really like, yeah, I might have a sibling that's in the business working all the time. I have another sibling that's not in the business at all. And mother wants everybody to be treated same when they when the estate transferred. I mean, there's so many things going on here in the back. And what this does is this clip kind of opens us up to that basic psychology that's going on inside the thoughts of everybody that's involved in this business. How did you pick this format to kind of illustrate that?
Well, first of all, as I said, coming out of a family business, being in a family business, you spend literally no time when you're interacting with your siblings that the subject of the business doesn't come up. Mm-hmm. The topic inevitably comes up. So at the holiday dinner, as you said, we have all the family dynamics exposed. Mm-hmm. So we see the matriarch and how she functions in the business. We see the two siblings that are active in the business, and then the one sibling who isn't, but how they all factor in. And it's just really, it's a great way to kind of be a silent observer at the dinner table to understand how all those conversations go back and forth.
Well, I think one of the commonalities that we're learning as advisors is to learn how to deal with conflict resolution, to see if we can position our practice as part of that. That's part of our practice. The math is pretty easy. Our solutions are pretty easy, the financial strategies. But learning this idea, to me, that's probably what separates you out of the pack.
Well, I think so. And again, what we found is these types of tools get the attention of the market segment because it's a mirrored reflection of them. So right after we had created Family Matters and we would show it to people in family businesses, and inevitably somebody would say, oh my God, that looks like us. So
they identify it with it immediately.
absolutely. They see themselves.
Well, listen, I want you to stay through the whole week because we're going to be showing clips from the Amanda sales system. It's just fantastic. And at the end of the week, we're going to talk a little bit about Amanda itself and how that can really interplay into your practice. Right now, though, let's watch the holiday dinner.
There's plenty of pie left if anyone's still hungry.
Beth, I don't think any of us need any more food.
The meal was delicious, Mom.
Thank you, Jen.
So, Mike, how's business?
Business would be a lot better had Michael been able to sell that purchasing agent at Johnson Transport last week.
Please, Bill, it's a holiday.
Business is good, Alex.
You know, if I didn't have to go to that damn funeral last Monday, I could have gone to the meeting with Michael.
What funeral? Who died?
Well, Jim Sorensen Engineering.
You two were old friends, weren't you, Dad?
Yeah.
Actually, he wasn't that old.
Jim was 60, 4 years younger than your father.
Elizabeth, please.
I spoke with Jim's wife after the service. She told me that she didn't think she was going to be able to keep the house.
Well, the man had all his money tied up in his business. He didn't know he was going to die last week.
Dad, I know we talked before about estate planning and having some formal documents drawn up for the business, you know, just in case.
Yeah, Dad, you're not getting any younger. You're gonna have to retire someday.
Here we go again.
Bill, you brought these same topics up after the service. You know, maybe if we had some kind of plan in place, retirement wouldn't seem so far out of the question.
Well, you know, why is it that every holiday season we end up talking about my retirement and the future of the business?
Honey, because it's the only time we can all get together.
Well, that's our show for today. Remember, you can read all my online insurance news commentary, advisor blogs, and articles on Producer's Web, as well as my answers to consumer questions on the Insurance Library. And don't forget, you can view any of our past episodes located at downtobusiness.ashbrokerage.com, where you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or just email steve.savant@ashbrokerage.com. And remember, you could be wiser as an Ash Brokerage advisor.